You're listening to the PRO Media Network, the next level in entertainment.
You're listening to the Pelicans Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
For all things Pelicans, you're now rocking with the Pelican Postgame Report. That's right, on the PRO Media Network. Welcome aboard, fam, to another excellent episode of the Pelican Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network. I am Big Q, your commentator, bringing you into this latest edition, episode 332. So for all you fantastic people that decided to join us today on the Pelican Postgame Report, I'd like to give you, that's right, a round of applause. That's for you. Because you, of all, the dedicated and faithful fan base of the New Orleans Pelicans, deserve a lot more than that. And I'm going to fire it up again. That's for you. Thank you. I got to do that, fam. I got to give y'all a round of applause for joining us, because a lot of kind of novice basketball follows would have been turned out to Pelicans. They'd have been turned them off. Because, you go through peaks and valleys, highs and lows with any club. Remember how garbage the Saints were for 20-something odd, 30 years before they actually won their first playoff game. This team was in existence first in 1966, and it took them all the way to 1987 to get their first playoff victory. How many stinking, rotten, losing seasons was that before they actually started winning some games? Now, I'm not equating the Pelicans to the Saints in any measure. The Pelicans had some success. Even prior to that, as the Hornets, they had some success. But I often hear the commentary about moving the team and all this kind of nonsense and sending them to Seattle. Listen, 18,000 people sit in that building. It takes to fill that building. When the playoffs were here, that building was a sea of red. When the Pelicans win, people show up. Even when they don't win, people show up. So I don't want to hear all this rigmarole about moving the team or getting rid of the team, or that the city can't support two franchises. That's absolute balderdash. The Saints are sold out for the next 5 years. Good luck getting tickets. They sold out the next 5 years. The Pelicans can be on that level too. With some serious basketball minds in place, you only have to hire one person, and that's a VP of basketball operations to set everything straight in the organization, and then we good to go. Now, they did a really good thing by getting rid of Dale Demps. Andy Davis says he wants to leave. Fine. At first, I was, my mind was about talking him back, but we can get a king's ransom in return for Anthony Davis if done correctly. Anyway, it was on this very podcast that we decided to have this discussion about that trade, in which we mentioned that any trade that goes to Boston, because ultimately it would be the team that he ended up going to, that we could end up getting people like Marcus Smart, besides Tatum, but Marcus Smart and possibly Al Horford, and 2 or 3 first-round draft picks, of which 2, the Celtics sitting on 3 picks this year, including the Memphis Grizzlies pick. That's possibly a lottery selection. But with that said, let's move into the latest episode, 332. We're recapping in this episode. Now, I went through that whole little spiel to bring us back to this point, that the Pelicans are now sitting at a ridiculous position because, of course, they reeled off 3 wins. You're like, man, listen, the Pelicans keep putting these wins together. We're only 6 games behind 500. We can make a play on the playoffs. That's right, I said the P word. Playoffs. Not so much. You look at how the team has been playing over the last 3 games since the Jazz lost at home by 10. And, of course, you can culminate the fact that we don't have our best player, which is Drew Holiday, obviously, because Andy Davis then literally relegated himself to the 3rd best player on the team, because Julius Randle's been out balling him. Drew Holiday has been outballing him, and Anthony Davis has now become the highest paid reserve big. The highest paid reserve big. I mean, he's not even playing at a championship level. He's lackadaisical, passing on plays that he usually doesn't pass on. I mean, it's just shameful to me. If you're a star, you're gonna go all the way out. You're gonna try to win, but it's just like really terrible. I hear you quack about erase the season and go on. I get you, buddy. But damn it, I'm a winner, man. And just like you guys out there, I want to win. I don't believe in tanking just to get a better pick. Come on. And only for the team to screw it up anyway. I mean, come on. I want to win, damn it. We're not that bad off where we can't win some of these games. But anyway, the Jazz loss, I recapped that in the last show. But this is the show where we talk about recapping the Raptors, and the Hawks lost tonight to a team. Now, how do you lose to the Hawks? I understand, Trae Young is an excellent young point guard, but he's struggling. This is a team that the Pelicans, even without Drew Holiday, they have an opportunity to beat. Before we get to that game, we're going to hit you with the Raptors recap, then the Hawks recap. We also have interviews from Elvin Gentry on both those games. We'll have the latest Pelican to step on the scene, which is Darius Bertans. Well, if I pronounced that correct, Darius Bertans. We'll have him, the latest interview from him, as his thoughts on coming to the New Orleans Pelicans. He did play in the game against the Hawks, by the way. But let's get into this first one. Now, this game dealing with the Toronto Raptors was a really interesting game. The Pelicans, for most parts, we knew they wasn't going to win this game. When I did the preview of this game from the last show, it was commonsensical. There's no way Kawhi Leonard would have slowed down, and Kyle Lowry lights him up every time he plays him. And they were going to lose. The only question is how badly were they going to lose. But they lose 127-104 in Toronto, as expected. Now Toronto outscored the Pelicans on the fast break 53-15. Literally, they outran them. 53-15, absolutely crazy. It's the most points given up in the fast break in the Pelicans franchise history. Ran them out the damn building using their own stuff. Now, they led by 4, 79-74, about 5 minutes left in the third. Then Toronto kind of pushed back on a 14-5 run to take a 13-point lead in the final frame. Raptors opened the fourth quarter on 18-10 run, pushing their lead to 21 points, which was about 111-90. Now, they had about 6 minutes remaining, and Toronto didn't give up the lead by 15 points for the rest of the way. After converting 3 of 16 from downtown, they were 10 of 21, for about 47.6% from deep after half. Now, Kawhi Leonard lit him up for 24 of his game-high 31 in the first half. They couldn't stop him. He set the pace. Kyle Lowry added about 13 points to record a triple-double for Toronto. And, of course, the highlight, which you got to give it to Sheik Diallo, played really well. He had 16 points to go with his game-high, 12 rebounds, and he connected on his first 5 field goal attempts of the game. Sheik has been looking really chic as of late in this game. Of course, the Pelicans, man, I mean, I took a deep sigh on that, people, and I hate to kind of do that, but, it's kind of nerve-wracking. You watch the team kind of have these little gutty performances, but 53%, it's hard to beat a team when they're shooting 53.5%. Pelicans with 41%. They weren't that terrific from the three-point line. Speaking of Toronto, 35% on 13 of 37. Pelicans were 8 of 13 for 25.6%. And then when it came to the free throws, 8 of 9 to the Raptors, 8 of 13 for the Pelicans, and they were 61%. Super crappy garbage free throw team, this team is. And 58 rebounds to 56. The Pelicans did beat them out. The assist war went to Toronto 31-28 in the game. And the turnovers, Pelicans did keep the turnovers down 17 points, but once again giving up 25 points. The Pelicans always amaze me how they just, when they turn over the ball, they don't make the other team pay like they're supposed to. Key in point, Toronto had 16 turnovers for 15 points. The Pelicans had 17 turnovers, 25 points, and that's always the case, where the other team always makes them pay. So it's just maddening. Of course, the points in the paint, they dominated them 66-52, them, speaking of Toronto. So this was just absolute bludgeoning by the Toronto Raptors, and absolutely just smacked the living heck out of the Drew Holiday and Etwan Moore-less New Orleans Pelican club. Top scores for them in this affair was obviously the play of Frank Jackson. He was excellent, 20 points in the game, 18 rebounds for Julius Randle, 16 from Sheik Diallo. And before I get into any more of the individual statistics, let's hear what Coach Gentry had to say about his team's performance against this Toronto club. Coach Gentry, what the heck happened over there, man?
Some three-pointers, and then we didn't finish a couple of shots here and there. So they are really, really good, and you have to try to keep them from getting that separation, and we couldn't do it.
Coach, did the points off turnovers and their ability to get out on the break equal anything that you've seen this season?
No, that was the big difference in the game, and it's not so much the turnovers. I mean, I know we had 25 points, but it wasn't really so much on the turnovers. They just outran us, and you get 53 points in transition, you're not going to lose a basketball game. I don't care who you're playing. And we had to do a little bit better job. We had to do a lot better job of getting back. I thought when we got back and got them set that we did a pretty good job in our half-court defense, but when you give up 53 in transition, they get 53 transition points, and they're 21 for 30, so that means most of them are wide-open shots are landed in the basket. So that was our big problem tonight.
Coach, did you see anything of interest from some of the young players that got to play heavy minutes tonight being shorthanded?
Yeah, I think you can see Frank's going to be fine. He still continues to improve in all the areas. I thought he was a little short on his shots tonight, didn't get his legs quite into him, but he shot them with confidence, and I think that's the big thing for us. I think the minutes that Jalil played, you can see that he can still be a force that we can throw the ball to on the inside and do some things. And, there was Chet, you play him. Every time Chet gets into the mid-20s and minutes, he usually have, double-figure points, double-figure rebounds. And so those are all positive things. I still think that we competed, and I think that, to me, that's the most important thing. I don't really care who we put out there. If we put 5 guys out there, we expect them to play hard and compete really hard, and I think that's what we're getting. So, with the situation of obviously not having Drew out there, AD didn't play tonight, not having Etwan, then I still thought that we competed at a real high level. We just ran into a situation in the middle of the third quarter where they had guys to go to, and we missed a couple of layups, missed a couple of open threes, and that's where they got the separation.
That's Coach Elvin Gentry breaking down his thoughts upon the loss of the Raptors at the end of the game. Now, of course, you got to give him credit for competing, true indeed, Coach, but once again, a short-handed team like the Pelicans not having all those weapons, we weren't expecting them to win this game. With a heavy-handed team like Toronto, as good as they are, I think they're the second-best team in the East. My belief is they're playing like the best team in the East right now. You could talk about Milwaukee all you want, but Toronto Raptors got to be up there with Gasol there now and Kawhi Leonard there playing the way they are. They got to be considered the favorite in the East by any stretch of the imagination. But that's the lead on the game. That's how it ended up. And Jahlil Okafor, 17 minutes, 2 points. Absolutely. You know what the crazy part about it is? Just says something about Jahlil Okafor. His numbers, his minutes have been down, and since the post All-Star break, and he hasn't looked quite the same as he had in the previous games prior to the All-Star break. His numbers have been up and down, and it's just absolutely mad. And I wish Elvin Gentry, for the life of me, would give this kid more damn minutes to play so, he can be out there. If Anthony Davis is relegated to the role he is when he's only playing 20 to 25 minutes, let's see what Jahlil Okafor can do more in the capacity. I would love to see him out there more and more, 25, 29 minutes a game in these affairs, not a stinking 17 minutes in the matchup, and he's your only 7 foot outside Anthony Davis. Come on, man. Let's see what some more of these guys can do. But the Pelicans, of course, you can't ask much of them without Drew Holiday and all these guys in this matchup. They fall to them by double digits. Now, when we come back on the break, we'll have the recap of the Atlanta Hawks debacle. We'll show that. We'll have Elvin Gentry's thoughts on that. We'll have the latest Pelicans. Bertans to chime in. We'll break that game down as well. You listen to the Pelican Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network. Stay with us.
Get straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
Embrace Pet Insurance is more than just pet insurance. Embrace Pet Insurance promises to provide genuine support and certainty when your pet needs it the most. With personalized accident and illness policies, compassionate customer care, 24/7 access to veterinary professionals, flexible wellness plans, timely claims processing, and online customer portals, their values is what makes them Embrace. So, when selecting a pet insurance company as a partner in your pet's care, you deserve a company that has your pet's best interests at heart. Get top-rated and reviewed coverage for your pet today. Up to 90% back on bills at any vet, total protection, pet insurance and wellness, and dependable claims payments. Get the top-rated and reviewed coverage for your pet today. Go to embracepetinsurance.com. That's embracepetinsurance.com. Check the link in the description section below.
Get all the latest news and updates from your New Orleans Pelicans at the Pelicans Eye View, the new and official Pelicans Daily Journal, covering everything Pelican. Attention, everyone. Get breakdown on games, free agent signings, and potential moves. Unbiased opinions and straight up facts with statistical analysis from G Valley. Go to www.thesportsdaily.com/Pelicans-I-View.
Are you a boxing fan? Check out Ring Kings Boxing only on the PRO Media Network.
Do you need a domain name? How about a host for your website that can work with WordPress? Try Namecheap.com. They make registering, hosting, and managing domain names for yourself or others easy and affordable because the internet needs people. Namecheap is an ICANN accredited domain register and technology company founded in 2000. It's one of the fastest growing American companies according to the 2018 Inc. 5000, celebrating nearly 2 decades of providing unparalleled levels of service, security, and support. Namecheap has been steadfast in customer satisfaction with over 10 million domains under management. Namecheap is among the top domain registrars and web providers in the world. They offer a full selection of popular and unique domains along with fully featured hosting packages, SSL security certificates, WhoisGuard privacy protections, and more, all at the lowest prices in the industry. So if you need a domain name or hosting or anything else, think Namecheap.com. That's right, Namecheap.com. Check the description section below for link.
Sports fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. From all the leagues, teams, and players you love, unique one-of-a-kind designs exclusively by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars shipped directly to your home. Join Fanatics Rewards for free to earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and for a limited time, get 20% off all orders. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
There's a lot of reasons to be a fan, but only NBAStore.com has all the gear.
Are you a Pelicans fan? Check out the Pelican Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network.
You're listening to the Pelicans Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
For all things Pelicans, you're now listening to the Pelican Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network. Listen, fam, this game against the Atlanta Hawks was lackluster in my opinion. Although the Pelicans lost by 8, 128 to 116, another game that they should have won. Now, I understand professional courtesy when you're speaking to Coach Gentry for him to ask him, Coach, how did you lose the game? Well, we lost the game because of obvious reasons. We're not disciplined. We turn the ball over. We don't respect the ball. We don't value the ball. We don't, we disrespect the fundamentals of basketball. And of course he doesn't talk like that. Sometimes when he gets excited enough or he had too many beers, like he had the celebratory beers, trust me, they ain't the only time this man, you can look in his eyes and see what time it is. But you're looking at this team. How do you lose to the Atlanta Hawks? That's the question I ask you. How the hell do you lose to Atlanta Hawks? The Atlanta Hawks are 23-45 right now. They're 9 games. They're buried in the Southeast side of things in their division. 23-45. This team is 23-45. You lose to them by 118 to 116 at home. This is one of the games where you're supposed to get better at. This is supposed to be a medicine game. Atlanta's supposed to be medicine to help you stockpile. Even without Drew Holiday and Etwine Moore, you're still supposed to beat the hapless Atlanta Hawks. And on top of that, Trae Young, who's their budding little superstar, he struggled in this game. He shot 2 of 14 from the field and all 4 from downtown for 10 points and 10 assists in this game. You supposed to beat that team. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. I don't want to hear it. You had Anthony Davis who played, Julius Randle played, and even though Drew Holiday wasn't there, you still have enough firepower to beat that team. How do you lose? How do you lose to that team? Well, of course, we need answers, right? And the only person maybe we can get some answers for is Elvin Gentry. Hear what he had to say about the loss to Atlanta, his coach Gentry.
I don't think really it's not anything that really stands out. But, I thought that what happened with us is that we were playing really good basketball, and then we kind of got out of our lane. We started taking some bad shots, questionable shots. They ran out on those questionable shots because we didn't have floor balance. So there was a lot of things like that happened. We missed some easy shots. We had a couple of breakdowns in rotations where we ended up leaving the open three-point shooter. So that's kind of where they got separation. I thought we played hard and competed. I was really proud of Frank. I thought this was overall one of the best games he's played. Forget about the scoring, but just his overall floor game, and I think the game is starting to slow down for him, and that's really good because this is really the first time that he's played competitively in 2 years, as I said. So I like where he's going and where the progress that he's made. Like I said, I think we played really good basketball the first half and had good ball moving and stuff, and then I thought we got away from it a little bit.
Coach, why did Herter hurt you guys so bad in the second quarter? Did he get hot, or was there?
No, he made a lot of shots, and he's very good at stopping right behind the screen. So it wasn't so much the way we defended him in that, you got to give him credit. I mean, he jumped up and made a bunch of shots. We could do a little bit better job on the dribble handoffs of maybe getting in front of him and cutting him off and not giving him a direct driving lane to the basket. But, you're a good shooter, you're going to have games like that. He shot the ball extremely well, but, in other areas I thought we did a great job on Trae. Trae's a tremendous player, and, he's been scoring at such a great clip. I thought we did a great job of really kind of taking him out of the game, and but we did a poor job of getting back to the three-point shooters, of closing out, of running them off their shots, and so no one made like a ton of them, but Alec Lynn makes a couple, and Dedmon makes a couple, and Bazemore make a couple, and before you know it, I mean, I think they got 17 of them made, and although we made 18, it was at crucial times where, we were trying to work our way back in the game, and you don't have an opportunity to come back when you're behind and you're trading baskets. You have to do it on stops, and we just didn't do it.
Did you adjust some of your?
That's Coach Al Gentry, man, giving you his thought on what happened in the Pelican game and against the Hawks, a team they shouldn't have lost to. I mean, this is absolutely foolish, man, to be honest with you. I usually be lamb-based them a little harder than this, and you'll not hear a show like this. Most shows are complimentary to the Pelicans. You hear like the post-game or the halftime shows, they'll come out and say, well, the Pelicans didn't do enough, and they just have to get better and do better and fix this and adjust this. Man, listen, man. The Pelicans are not going to fix and adjust this, and I'll tell you why. It's because this is a part of the flaws of the scheme that the coach is running. If you watch as much Pelican basketball as we have, and I'm pretty sure you guys do because that's why you're listening to this podcast, is because the Pelicans, from a scheme standpoint, and that's instituted by the coach himself, his defensive schemes are severely flawed. His offensive schemes are too. He sacrifices defense for offense. He really does. If it's fundamental, the first thing I'm teaching before I even install any scheme is that I'm teaching discipline, the principles of not turning the ball over, not disrespecting the ball, and playing disciplined basketball. That means cutting the turnovers down and hitting free throws, playing good defense. That's all sacrificed for pace, for pushing pace to get more opportunities. But if you have an undisciplined team, and I've said this 100 dozen times on this show, go back and listen to them, is that you can't play fast if you're not disciplined. You're going to consistently turn the ball over, and my God, Elfrid Payton is terrible. And I'm saying that at first I thought Elfrid Payton was a very good defensive guard, but he's not. When I've watched guys like Ricky Rubio, who he should be able to guard and shut down Ricky Rubio, running past him. He's slow on switch offs. He's turns the ball over way too much. He can't shoot the 3-pointer, and he can barely make free throws. My God, Elfrid Payton. Good grief. I'm thinking he could be at this point a lot better than what he is, but wow. I mean, wow. This is my lead guard, and he's just, if anything, he should be as disciplined as he possibly can with the ball. But you see him make these passes where the guy just kicks the ball out. He throws the ball behind the guy. It's just like he just unforced errors, just throwing the ball up, getting caught in the air with the ball and having a stupid pass. Just my goodness. But anyway, we're going to play Frank Jackson in just a moment. But before we do that, let me just go over some of the team statistics for the Pelicans against the Hawks. 128 to 116, by the way, bludgeon. Atlanta did pull up 34 points in the fourth and 29 in the third to move past the Pelicans and get away from them. 49% flat. The Hawks shot. Pelicans were 44.5%, 18 of 41 from downtown. Hawks were 17 of 37. The Pelicans were perfect from the free throw line, even though they didn't get there much. 8 of 8 from the free throw line. Double the numbers for the Hawks. A little home cooking there. But it wasn't home cooking on the rebound edge. The Hawks out-rebounded them 56 to 42. 56 to 42. The Pelicans lost the assist game 30 to 29, very close. And the turnover game, the Pelicans did hold their turnovers down, right? Only give up 8 turnovers, right? But then 16 points off it. That's what I was saying earlier. Pelicans only had 8 turnovers, but they gave up 16 points off them. Now, the Hawks had 10 turnovers and gave up 9. You see what I'm saying about not making them pay for the mistakes that they make? The Pelicans don't make the damn teams they plan pay when they turn over the ball. Fast break points, Pelicans win at 14-9, and then the points in the paint. Once again, they get bludgeoned in the points in the paint battle, 58 to 44. Now, before I continue giving my commentary on this game, let's hear what Frank Jackson had to say about the way the Pelicans won this game. Here's Frank.
Frank, one thing that Coach talked about after the game, as far as some of the positives from this game, he talked about how he feels like the game is slowing down for you. I mean, when you hear that, can you kind of describe, like, to people who might not know what that means? What does he mean by that, and how does that play out on the court?
I think definitely it's slowed down. Obviously, in the NBA, this is the best players in the world, and you're guarding some of the best athletes, and some of the best athletes are guarding you. So I think over time and with reps, I've gotten more comfortable. Seeing myself out there and kind of just finding my role and my niche in the league. But ultimately, I think I've worked at it. The hard work you put into it, the more better you're prepared, and I'm feeling a lot more comfortable.
I think everyone always expects there's going to be ups and downs for the rookies. Trae Young has been one of the best rookies in the league, and tonight he was like 2 for 14 from the field.
Yeah.
But, I mean, for you, do you feel like your consistency is rising from what you've been doing lately?
For sure. This is a game of ups and downs. You're not always going to be perfect, but the one thing you can't control is how hard you play. When you're playing hard, it's not always about how you're shooting.
That's Frank Jackson, fam. Frank Jackson, man, who had an excellent game against the Hawks here, man. He turned in a pretty decent turnout. 23 points for him, 16 rebounds, 2 assists, 23 with Julius Randle, 15 from Andy Davis and Elfrid Payton, 10 off the bench from Miller and Ian Clark. Wasn't enough. They lose 3 straight games in a row. 128-116 the Hawks. That's 3 games in a row the Pelicans dropped. They play the Bucks coming up on the 12th. Do I really need to preview that? You lose to the Hawks. Do I really think you're going to beat the Greek Freak and then you're going to be lacking Drew Holiday? Well, you know how that's going to end. Anyway, that'll do it for the Pelican Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network. If you enjoyed the show, hit the subscribe and notification bells, buttons, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Are you a Pelicans fan? Check out the Pelican Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network.
The Kleins family has been getting people to go nuts for old nuts since 1995. As legends have it, a number of the Kleins friends who heard the idea said you can go nuts trying to name a store like that. In the excitement, the Kleins thought their friends said old nuts instead of go nuts and proceeded to throw caution to the wind. Old Nuts has over 2,000 items, bulk and wholesale prices of a whole lot of your favorite fruits, nuts, and confections, a selection of gift baskets for any budget, any occasion, and provides one of the best and impressively rated shopping experiences on the web. Fact is, between their selection, service, speed, or their online presence in the virtual mirror retail experience, they have developed an enviable client base that's comprised of personal and professional customers who count on their remarkable range of gift baskets. Think of gift basket, think about Old Nuts. Check them out, oldnuts.com. Check the link in the description section below. Tea is your escape. It's your opportunity to create a moment for stillness, for reflection, for yourself. It's your connection to a world of senses, flavors both exotic and familiar, energizing and relaxing. It's your retreat from an increasingly turbulent world. It's the perfect paradox of simplicity and complexity. Teabox.com connects tea to people, uniting the richest flavors of the finest teas with the curious, the cultivated, and the adventurous all over the world. The freshest tea you've ever tasted, from crop to cup. There's simply no simpler way to experience the wonderful complexity of tea. Teabox, packing up the freshness. Tea thrives on freshness, and so do they. Teabox temperature and humidity control facility ensure that tea is maintained. The teas themselves go into oblique bags with aluminum layers that protect them from excess moisture and light. With Teabox, shopping for fresh, loose leaf tea is easy because you make an informed purchase. You know exactly where your tea is coming from. So for the freshest teas in the world, check out Teabox.com. That's right, Teabox.com. Check the link in the description section below.
Are you a boxing fan? Check out Ring Kings Boxing only on the PRO Media Network.
Go to newfrog.com for all of your electronic gadget needs. Fast becoming #1 online seller of cell phone and accessories, consumer electronics, automobiles and motorcycles, home and garden items, 5D diamond painting crafts, electrical and tool supplies, computer and networking supplies, lights and lighting supplies, sports and travel items, toys and hobby supplies, apparel and accessory, mother and kid items, health and beauty items, and much, much more. Newfrog.com has up to 70% off on some products. And you can check out their weekly promotions for all the best deals. Remember, when thinking online electronics and gadgets, think New Frog. Newfrog.com. Check the link in the description section below.
In today's world, children are bombarded with negativity on television, online, and at school. Our kids need to have a positive outlook on life and the world around them. I want to share with you a valuable resource you can use to bring positivity into your child's life. It's the new book, 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image, from author and dad, G.J. Barabino. This is a simple guide loaded with wonderful and inspirational affirmations designed to uplift young people's spirits. This positive and powerful children affirmational is chock full and loaded with wonderful inspirational sayings that will lift your child's self-image to whole new levels through the awesome power of spoken word. 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image, from author and dad G.J. Barabino. Available on Amazon. Order a copy for yourself, your child's teachers, or anyone you know with children. 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image. Order your copy today.
What's up, Sports World? The PRO Media Network is on a mission to reach 10,000 subscribers. So besides our regular programs like the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, the Pelican Postgame Report, Rapid Fire TSC, and others, we will be expanding out and offering other content like movie, anime, and gaming reviews for your entertainment. So if you enjoy our content, please donate at our Patreon page. Also subscribe, comment, and share. and help the PRO Media Network reach 10,000 subs. Peace.